this video, I'll be discussing about DNA fingerprinting, which is given in the chapter number 6 of 12th Biology NCERT. DNA fingerprinting is also given the name DNA profiling. So another name is DNA profiling, or it is also known as molecular profiling. Molecular profiling. Okay, now for this DNA fingerprinting, what is the use? Why we are using DNA fingerprinting? So various uses or applications of DNA fingerprinting are there. For example, it can be used to find criminals, and it can be used for the paternity test, as we see in many movies and TV serials. For criminals paternity test, they just use some cell of the body, like either the hair cell or the blood cell or any other part. Then they just take out the DNA and then they find out who the criminal is. So various uses of this DNA fingerprinting are there. Now, what about the concept of this DNA fingerprinting? On what basis this DNA profiling is done? So we have the first point to discuss, that is concept of DNA fingerprinting. Right? Now, to understand this concept of fingerprinting, first we need to understand about the genetic material, that is DNA. So we'll see what this DNA and what type of this part of the DNA is there. DNA can be classified into two groups or can be divided into two parts on the basis of density. On basis of what? On basis of density. DNA can be divided into two parts. The first one is bulk DNA. Bulk DNA, which is present in the larger amount, that is around 99.9% of the genome is, or the DNA is made up of bulk DNA. The part of this bulk DNA is known as coding DNA, or it is useful DNA. Okay, now second part includes the satellite DNA. Satellite DNA will be forming only 0.1% of the complete DNA, and this is the non-coding DNA or useless DNA. Non-coding means they will not code for any protein structures, so they are useless. Clear? Now, these satellite DNA are actually the repetitive sequences where the nucleotides are repeating continuously. So these are repetitive sequence of nucleotides. Clear? Now, the further classification of this satellite is done, and now I'll just clear the screen. So we are classifying the satellite only now. The satellite can be classified into two parts or two groups on the basis of the size of the DNA or the number of base pairs present in it. First one is mini satellite. Mini satellite. This mini satellite is made up of around 10 to 60 base pairs. Okay, and one of the example we have is VNTR. VNTR, variable number tandem repeats. Full form is important. STARMARK, variable number tandem repeats. And here this is used in the process of DNA fingerprinting. Remember, VNTRs are used for DNA profiling, used for DNA profiling. Means DNA matching. To be in a simple language to say, DNA profiling means DNA matching. We will be just matching the two samples of the DNA. So at last, I'll just explain with the help of an example also. So VNTRs show high degree polymorphism, means they are different in different humans, show high degree polymorphism, means they can be never same in two individuals except the homozygotic twins or monozygotic twins, monozygotic twins, the twins which are formed or bond with the same zygote. Second we have got is microsatellite. One was mini satellite and now we have the second part of the satellite, that is microsatellite. This microsatellite consists of 1 to 8 base pairs. So microsatellites are small sequences, and we have one example, that is STR, again star mark. STR stands for short tandem repeats. Short tandem repeats. Clear? Now every individual has VNTR, but the length and the copy number is different. This is what we call it as high degree polymorphism. So let me write the basis on which the DNA profiling or molecular profiling is done. So high degree polymorphism means VNTR are found in every individual, found in every individual, but we have a but. These VNTRs have different length and different copy numbers, and some VNTRs will have just 5 in number, means 5 copies are there. In some it can be 6, in some it can be 10 also. So but length and copy number are different in different individuals. Okay, and on this basis, VNTRs are used for DNA profiling. Next, we have the technique used for DNA profiling. So let's put the heading first, and technique. This technique is very simple, very easy to understand, and I'll just show you with the help of the picture itself and by writing. So initially, we will just take number 1 step is sample collection. Sample will be collected. Now, this sample collection means if we are doing for some crime, then we'll take the sample from the crime scene. If we are doing the paternity test, then we will take the sample from the person itself, right? Now, samples taken in the form of either blood, skin, hair base, or the cheek cells, anything is there. Now, from the samples, what is done? I'll be using different colors so that each step can be differentiated. Sample collected. From this sample, what will be done? The cells will be isolated. Isolation of the cells. Because the DNA is present within the cell itself. So the first we need to take out the cells. This is step number 2. Now the next is step number 3. These cells will be now broken. Lysis of cell is done by the use of different enzymes, and after cell lysis we use the DNA means we isolate DNA. So DNA isolated. Okay, so this is a simple line diagram we can say, which will make us easier to learn this technique and to understand this. Cell lysis, then chilled ethanol is added to precipitate and isolate DNA from protoplasm. The minimum amount of DNA is 1 microgram. So here we have one important point, and I'm confused with the colors which I am going to use. So I'll just put a star mark and I'll write the point that chilled ethanol is added to precipitate and isolate DNA. Chilled ethanol is added for what? Added to precipitate and isolate DNA. Clear? This point is important, can be asked directly in the exam. Now after this we have step number 4, and I'll be using maroon. So step number 4 we have, because the DNA is very less in the cell, we usually increase the number of the DNA segments. So if the DNA is less in amount, DNA amplification is done by PCR. So DNA amplified means its copy number is increased by PCR, polymerase chain reaction, which we see in the biotechnology. So by PCR, once the number of the DNA or amount of DNA is increased, we have the step number 5 now. In this step number 5, restriction enzymes are used for the digestion of this DNA. Restriction enzymes like restriction endonuclease enzyme will cut the DNA at specific sites. So restriction enzyme will be used. For example, heme third, EcoR first, different restriction enzymes or restriction endonuclease enzymes are there, which are known as molecular scissors. These restriction enzyme cuts entire DNA into fragments. Enzyme cut DNA into fragments. Small fragments will be formed of different lengths. Of course, they'll be small, but of different lengths will be formed. And now we are supposed to separate the segments of the DNA, and the technique we use is gel electrophoresis. So step number 6 we have got is, the separation of DNA segments, by what technique? By gel electrophoresis. This is one important technique which is asked in the exam. Now, one point is there for you to remember. Gel use, the type of gel used in this process can be agarose gel, the natural gel, agarose gel, or it can be polyacrylamide gel, PAGE. PAGE stands for polyacrylamide gel. Sorry, I just wrote it wrong. So I'll use the eraser and I'll rewrite PAGE, right? So polyacrylamide gel. PAGE is the term used for this gel. Now, during electrophoresis, what happens? During electrophoresis, the negatively charged DNA segments will move towards the positively charged rod, and the segments will be separated on the basis of their size. So the longer segments will travel less distance and the shorter segments will travel more distance, and hence the DNA segments will be separated. Now this gel, the next one is step number 7. This gel is placed in alkaline solution and all DNA segments become single stranded. So gel placed where the segments are separated. After, I'll write it here so that you won't get confused. Okay, after separation of segments, we have step number 7 where the gel is placed in alkaline solution and what will happen? The DNA segments will become single stranded. DNA segments become single stranded. Okay, usually DNA is what? DNA is double stranded. So we need single stranded DNA. So we'll place the gel into the alkaline solution. Now next is step number 8 and I'll use green color again. Step number 8. Step number 8 is all the DNA segments are transferred on nylon sheath or nitrocellulose membrane by the technique known as Southern blotting technique. So I'll explain the technique also. So DNA segments, all DNA segments, what will be done? They are transferred where they are transferred on nylon sheet, an artificial sheet or nitrocellulose membrane, Okay, now by the technique, what is the name of the technique? The name of the technique is Southern blotting. So I'll highlight the name Southern blotting. Remember, the Southern blotting is the technique used for DNA. You will see some other types of blottings also. That is Northern blotting, which is used for RNA, and Western blotting, which is used for proteins. Remember these points. These are important points which are asked directly in the exam. Southern blotting for DNA, Northern blotting for RNA, and Western blotting for proteins. There is no Eastern blotting. No Eastern blotting is there for us. So basically we have got these 3 blottings which we need to see, which we need to know. Now after the Southern blotting, what is done here during the Southern blotting? We take the agarose gel in one hand and we take the nitrocellulose in one hand. I'm just giving an example like the process. I can't actually show you, or you just have to imagine it actually. So take the DNA fragment, this gel into one hand, and then take this nitrocellulose sheet into another hand and put this second hand on the first one. So what happens? The DNA segments present on the gel will get on the nitrocellulose membrane or the nylon sheet. This transfer of DNA segments from gel to nitrocellulose membrane is known as Southern blotting. Now, what is there? We have this nitrocellulose membrane or nylon sheet on which the DNA segments are present like this. Separated DNA segments will be there on nitrocellulose membrane. And the next step is number 9, which includes the hybridization. Number 9 is hybridization. And what happens during the hybridization? The single-stranded radioactive DNA probe. Single-stranded radioactive DNA probe. This DNA probe will be combined with the R sample DNA and hence the technique known as hybridization. This probe is complementary to the single stranded which we have created. So it is complementary to the VNTRs. The probe is complementary to variable number tandem repeats or the DNA segments we have used. Now, the probe will get attached to its complementary sequences, and since the probe is radioactive, we will observe this on a photographic or X-ray film. So step number 10 is photographic observation on photographic, sorry, spelling mistakes are huge problems. Photographic or X-ray film. Clear? And hence the DNA sample is developed and DNA fingerprinting is done, DNA matching is done. So once the photographic film is developed, what is done? The final thing, that is DNA fingerprinting is done. Fingerprinting is done, that is DNA matching is done. So this is the complete process for DNA fingerprinting. On your NCERT, page number 123, 12th NCERT Biology, figure 6.16 is given, which shows an example. So I'll be explaining here with the example similar to that. So we have one sample chromosome and I'll be using the sample chromosome as C, what is given in the NCERT. Okay, now the C has the sequences present in this form, the different DNA sequences like this. I'm not using different colors, but I'll be using the sequence same as given in your NCERT and here. This is the sample obtained from crime scene, sample from crime scene. Okay, now we have two suspects with us. Suspect A is there and suspect B is there. Remember, on this concept, the question was asked in the NTA test also. So we have these sequences for B individuals. And how you're supposed to know that which one is the criminal or with whom the sample matches? So if you see the sequences, it will be very easy for you. And here we have got this one. Then another one will be somewhat here. And the next will be here. And the other two will be here. Okay. So these are the samples from A, the suspect A and suspect B. Now you need to see that with whom the sample matches more. So this segment matches with this B, yes. Here this matches with the sample B, yes. Here again it matches with A and B. So here it is matching with A and B both. Okay, now for this segment it is matching with A and B again both, and the last segment matches with B only. So to find out the criminal or the individual with whom the sample matches, just you put the ticks like this, the segment with which segment it is matching, and count the number of ticks. The more number of ticks found, the sample matches with it. So B is criminal or matching is done with B. Clear? So this is one technique, very easy example, very easy questions are developed from this part. And here we are done with this complete process of DNA fingerprinting. Please like this video, share with your friends and subscribe the channel.